This one, if you're in a burning building with 10 hairstylist friends, you can only say one. Who would you save and why? Being a little different and kind of like an outsider in a community that didn't really accept like who I was.
Really?
Slippery little sucker, like slithering around the house.
Dressing gown CEO. Hey guys, so we have Michael Kelly, the one and only amazing hair artist in this entire world. Welcome.
Thank you, Em.
He's actually opened his own salon called Salon Her. You've probably seen it in quite a few magazines and on social media. It is a beautiful environment that you have created there.
Thank you, Em. That's really sweet of you.
You're welcome. Michael kindly wanted to come and visit Foil Me HQ, and me being me, took advantage of it and was like, yes, let's get in our dressing gowns and do a little interview.
So I bought my dressing gown all the way from Sydney.
You did. I'm so grateful for that. And he's got his EOS slippers.
Yeah, I stole them from the hotel.
Which is awesome. All right, so we have some questions here, and they're a little bit curly, Michael. Are you ready?
I am ready. When I read them, I was like, oh, okay, it's fun. We're going to have fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm ready.
So first one is,
yes.
What do you think about the Olympics?
Well, personally, I'm not ultra into sports, but I am into the dedication that it takes athletes to get there.
Yeah.
So Netflix did that Simone Biles 2-episode docu-series type thing.
You watched that?
I loved it.
Yeah?
I thought it was phenomenal.
Yeah, right.
And like it talks a lot about like the pressure that she has, and also like the struggles that she's had with the last Olympics. And I think like hype like that, you know, like really creates like this, it's more than just the sport.
Yeah.
So I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I haven't actually watched a lot of the coverage of the events themselves. I did watch a lot of the opening. I thought that was really interesting, and I'm a huge Celine Dion fan, especially after her documentary. Did you see it?
No.
Oh,
no, I know. I haven't watched many autobiography documentaries.
You have to watch it because I know it's a bit off topic, but Celine has stiff person syndrome, and it's affected the way that she can use her voice.
Really?
So yeah, it's
degenerative.
She's never going to repair from it.
Wow.
So she's actually she's been unable to sing. And this documentary kind of it's so heartbreaking. And I was like bawling my eyes out watching it.
Yeah.
But to see her like sing at the opening, I was like, wow. That is incredible.
How did she do that?
I think there's lots of like steroids and like vocal coaching and.
It's about to say steroid.
Yeah, she would have had to do quite a lot of prep work to get up there, but to look so
Sorry, I've got a really itchy nose.
That's okay, we're unpolished.
I'm not picking it, alright?
I wouldn't care if you were, whatever. But yeah, so I saw more of the, I did more of the opening ceremony. And I thought, you know, like Dior doing a lot of the costumes and Lady Gaga being present.
Yeah,
you know, like even like the Moulin Rouge team were doing like the can-can.
Yeah.
So I was watching. Did you see all that? It was
no, I actually didn't watch any of it. I don't know where I was the opening. I might have been flying back.
Yeah.
From
there was
Singapore.
some really interesting. There was like some decapitations. It was really interesting, of like French fanfare. But I thought it was fabulous. And back to the, I love the Olympic spirit because it's, you know, every 4 years it comes around, and it's something that kind of like highlights these incredibly dedicated athletes who sacrifice so much for their sport. So I feel like I'm a bit of an athlete in the hair community. So, you know, like.
That's what I was about to say. It mirrors the hair industry, doesn't it? Because there's some real powerhouses like yourself who have just worked your absolute butts off to get where you are, and it just shows the tenacity and endurance.
I agree.
And a passion that you've got to have to keep at it. Yeah.
Yeah. So in that respect, I kind of love the Olympics, but I don't generally follow sport.
I like that perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can appreciate something for what it is.
Yeah.
Without being a fan.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. But you're not just appreciating what it is. Your perspective is what the Olympians have had to do to get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You understand it. You get it.
The other day, it was funny. I did a class yesterday in Adelaide, and I was talking about like some of our mammoth days in the salon, like because I'm still very much on the salon floor.
Yeah.
And
How many days a week?
I do we only trade 4 days. I do 3 days on clients and 1 day on the business. And last Thursday I did 13 colours.
What? In 1 day?
Yeah. Some people might not think that that's a bit large amount, but
no.
for us, I was like, this is my Olympic moment.
2-3 hours like, each colour.
Oh, it was crazy. It was crazy.
And I was going to do my maths. 3, 6, 9, 12.
There's a lot.
So that's kind of like 12 hours? You did a 12-hour day?
Yeah, it was a 12-hour day.
Whoa.
They weren't all like highlights. They were like, you know, base colours, balayage. Like we were just like on this. But it's the same thing. It's like those are the moments that we train so hard for.
Yeah.
To be able to smash through a day like that and succeed. Yeah. You know, happy clients, no phone calls the next day. You know, like all of that is success. So that is that Olympic standard of hair.
Yeah,
you know, like getting through days like that.
Yeah.
And you know, like the awards that we kind of like build this whole portfolio, this collection of work for. Yeah. Yeah. Like that's a different element of, but you know, like day to day, we train hard to be able to be successful in our salons. Yeah. So yeah, by means of athlete, I think that's kind of where I shine.
You absolutely do.
13 colours, my gosh.
You need to.
It was nuts.
You need to play the.
I gave my assistant a really big pat on the back, and I'm like, we slayed. Yeah. We did really well.
That's really cool.
And I wouldn't usually say slay, but that's something she would say. So I was like, it was slay.
Got to get with the young lingo.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the word that my team use, or my son uses? It's not bro, it's blood.
I've never heard of that.
Blood. Hey, blood. How's it going, blood? It's weird. It's like a cross between bro and I don't know.
Have you asked him to explain it to you?
Yeah, he just goes, "You're too old to understand."
Oh, wow. You're like, actually, I am, and that's okay.
Actually, he calls me an old hag. That's what he says. Yeah.
We need to have a chat with him.
I think you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. He needs to know what's what. All right, let's go on to the next one. But I love your answer. That's awesome.
Thank you.
If you're in a burning building with 10 hairstylist friends, and you could only save one, who would it be and why?
This is wild. So for anyone watching at home, Em sent me these questions yesterday, and I kind of like
he's smiling.
Yeah, I kind of scanned them. I don't like to be too pre-rehearsed. It's like I like being ad hoc, but this one I was like, oh, that's interesting, and I thought about it because I'm like, if I was in a building with 10 of my hair friends, and I had to save one of them, that would be a really hard decision. But yeah, it actually was easy, to be fair, because and we both share a mutual love of this person, but it would be Cherie Noble. Because I've known Cherie since I was a kid, really. And like I met her when I was 16, and I was her assistant, and she really showed me an opportunity in life that I didn't think I could have. So I would save her from a burning building because at one point in my life, she kind of saved me from one. So that's where I would go with that. And really sorry to all my other friends because I do love you guys, and you too have saved me from many burning buildings. But my career really wouldn't have been the same without someone seeing me in a time where I couldn't really see myself. And
I love that.
Yeah, so that's Cherie is safe.
Aww, I love that.
I know, but I don't want any of my other friends to
saw
burn.
you.
Yeah, she's.
I'm so sorry. It's really not a nice question.
It isn't, but you know, we made something sweet of it, so that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you weren't a hairdresser, what would you be?
This one, I think about all the time. Because, in all fairness, I never actually wanted to be a hairdresser.
Yeah, right.
I just knew that I couldn't stay at school. It wasn't an amazing environment for me. Being a little different and kind of like an outsider in a community that didn't really accept like who I was.
Yeah.
It just wasn't a great environment to learn in. So studying was difficult.
School's not for everybody.
It's not. I loved academia, like I loved it. But I just found that I couldn't concentrate because I was constantly aware of like
being bullied. Yeah.
So I have
Totally.
a really good girlfriend of mine, who's still one of my best friends. I worked for her mum in a local cafe, and she was in a hairdressing apprenticeship.
Okay.
And it was actually her mum that said to me, like, why wouldn't you consider doing what Rochelle does? And her name's Rara. She has an amazing salon called Salon Her.
Okay.
And she's a phenomenal human, phenomenal hairstylist, and her family just...
Hopefully she's using foil me.
Yeah, she is.
Okay.
Don't worry. I was at the opening the other day. Yeah, hey, Rara. Well, her branding's all about pink.
Oh, so, perfect.
She uses the pink foil me.
Yeah.
The Noble collection.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like I was like, well, okay, that sounds like a good idea. And I did some work experience in Ra's salon, and then I was like, actually, this is a really cool industry. And I kind of just got into it that way because I was like, there is people around me who want to talk to me.
Yeah.
I feel included. And, you know, like I like the idea of doing hair.
Yeah.
And the more exposure I got to doing hair, the more I loved it. So I realized that I was able to be myself, have this kind of like community feel of people who accept you, and then I actually loved the technical side of what we do.
Yeah.
So I never really actually wanted to be a hairdresser, but I got into it.
Yeah.
And obviously here I am now, almost 20 years later. And
so how old were you when you first got into hairdressing?
Just shy of 16.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'm 35 now. So I'm 36 in a couple like
You're
months.
not.
Yeah.
What?
I know, it's crazy.
I thought you were in like late 20s.
Thank you, Em. You made my day.
No, I did though. I did.
Yeah.
I thought you were like heaps younger than me. So yeah.
Well, here we are.
Yeah.
But you know, like it's easy for you as a hairdresser to get some runs on the board because of like how early you start. And I've pursued the career because I love it, and I wouldn't do anything else, nor could I. But I've thought about what I would be doing right now as a 35-year-old adult, and like it would have to be something to do with like interior design, like architecture.
100%.
Yeah, because like I've
seen Salon Her.
Yeah.
You did that all yourself.
Yeah, I did it with the design agency.
Yeah, but you were giving the direction.
Yeah, of course. So
how you wanted it to look.
Yeah, our concepts were the first that she'd created. She'd never done a hair salon before, Mariah, from Folk Studio. And so I kind of helped with...
Little shout out there.
Yeah, this is
Folk Studio.
But staying on track with the question,
yes,
it would be something to do with design, or like curation, or you know, creative direction in interiors. Like I love it, and it comes very naturally to me.
Really, because you know, I can see you being a like high-end fashion label, like bringing out your own.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what
I appreciate fashion.
I can see that.
But I have more of like a romance with interiors.
Yeah.
Furniture, design, art, textiles, you know, like
love that.
I'm obsessed with like marble slabs.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say something else then, but then you're like, marble slabs.
I love marble slabs. Like I have a 350-kilo onyx dining table at my home. It's rainbow onyx. It's one of a kind.
Okay.
And I'm obsessed with it. And I think about what its lifespan will be like in my presence, because I'll never sell it, but I will replace it. So one day I actually want to turn it into a bathroom. Like I would like to have it as the inside of a shower.
Wow.
Yeah, like I think about those things.
I love the way that you think.
Yeah. A little bit strange, but it's okay because like
that's strange. That's being sustainable as well. You're thinking like I'm not going to throw this out.
Well, I love things. I do love things, you know. Like I found it on Facebook Marketplace of all places.
Wow.
And
really?
Yeah. I just like find these special things. Rainbow onyx. It is 350 kilos. When I move house, it takes 7 Samoan men to move it.
Samoan men.
Yeah, you should see them.
Yeah.
It's wild. And it costs $1,000 every time to move it. So I've definitely paid for the table again and again.
Yeah.
But
It's worth it.
I just love it. I fall in love with things. So I think about how they will stay with me. And it's the same with people and, you know, yeah.
Love it.
But something to do with interiors. Yeah,
Okay.
that would be what I'm up to.
All right.
And I'd also like to study psychology or like something to do with like sociology or you know, I love people and I love understanding people, behavior patterns and what makes people tick and what why people react the way that they do. And so I think would be something I'd like to study if I ever stop doing hair. Yeah. Just out of interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool.
Yeah.
We've actually just learnt, it's called What Makes People Tick, and it's sort of separated into birds. So people's personalities fitting a bird. Yeah. So there's an eagle, a dove, a peacock, and an owl. Yeah. And I am a dove peacock.
Yeah, I've done some of these personality things before.
Yeah.
Different birds. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, understanding the foundation of people and who they are, allows you to approach people individually. And I think that's where you get a lot of success with leading people.
It's respectful, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And I know that on my team, not everyone
is the same.
No. Yes. Not everyone appreciates communication the way that I do.
Yes.
And not everyone would appreciate the communication that Paris does or Charlie does. So everyone is so unique. So actually those 100%. Fundamental skills of understanding like basic psychology and like people profiling.
It's complementary to your job.
We as an industry are promoting more resources for younger gen or the generation that exists of hairstylists because we often get put into really unsafe environments with our clients in terms of trauma dumping and, you know, like clients just bring this whole
they do
like
so
energy.
Someone starts touching you, you feel intimate, don't you?
Of course.
So you feel like you can divulge everything.
Yeah, but then there's not a lot of like education around how to handle that. Yeah. So there's more of it coming through. I recently have worked with a initiative called Style for Cancer. Okay. And they are teaching hairdressers how to communicate to clients who come in with either a diagnosis or, you know, after they've kind of lost their hair or whatever it is, in terms of finding the right language and making people feel seen or heard or realizing when to not, like to step back a little bit. Yeah. And these are tools that we don't get taught. Yeah. We don't get taught that stuff.
No, you don't.
But there's an expectation on us as hairdressers. And you can appreciate this because you're in the industry, but you're not a hairdresser. But as a hairdresser, there's this huge expectation that you just are able to cope with whatever gets kind of placed in your pocket. Yeah. Which is it's not intentional. Clients don't intend to do that. But we as an industry need to create more resources for people to cope with.
If you could go back in time, when would you choose? Like what era?
I thought about this too, and you know, like I'm very into like that disco era, like Studio 54.
70s.
Yeah, like that kind of like 70s to 80s, kind of like 90s, like kind of like New York. I would love to be 54. I would love to be 35, or maybe I'd still like to look like this, but I could tell everyone I'm 28. In that period, so it's like that disco era. Yeah. You know, like the club kids, like that New York kind of club scene was really like popping. Yeah.
Would you have the big afro? Do you think, or would you have long?
No, I reckon I'd still look kind of like this.
Really?
Yeah. No, like it wouldn't be too.
I don't think it looks 70s.
It wouldn't be too 70s, but then it wasn't really about like because it wasn't.
Although Prince did have didn't he?
Yeah, but like it wasn't, that era wasn't so defined by like, because it went through multiple kind of like decades. Yeah. So like it was 70s kind of like inspired disco, obviously, and then into 80s, and then still it was existing in the 90s.
Yeah.
So like it's just that
True.
the culture changed, and you know, like the you know, like Andy Warhol's around Amanda Lepore, you know, like all that original Club Kid kind of scene. Anyway, I think that would have been iconic, because you have like these dance parties with like, you know, the most famous of the famous with like just club kids just dancing, and it was so ultra glamorous, and we don't really have that kind of like cross pollination now.
No, it
doesn't really work.
Yeah.
Because everyone's so accessible on social media. Like, you know, you could film someone doing something like a little bit wild.
Yeah.
And it would just be available for the whole world to see.
Yeah.
Whereas inside like the walls of Studio 54,
it's not so secret.
It's like it's like it's all in.
It's very elite.
Yeah, it's captured inside those walls.
Yeah. It was like a little time capsule in itself. Wasn't it?
Yeah. So, but that is not the era that I would go back to. I think I'd like to walk the earth with the dinosaurs.
Really? Wow.
Have you seen Land Before Time?
Yeah, I have.
Like.
Yeah. I know. They're very cute.
Sarah.
Very cute.
Littlefoot, like, come on.
I know.
I need to be around those people.
I actually used to get the little toys.
Yeah.
Because at Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you remember?
Yeah, I love Pizza Hut.
So.
Or you can eat Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut would give away toys. McDonald's copied Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Pizza Hut was the first one to actually start doing it.
Yeah.
Although don't hold me to that. I may be wrong. But yeah, I collected them all. Yeah.
Petrie, like when Littlefoot's mum died.
The cutest. I know.
And you know, like for any of the.
But you do realise that the animated Land Before Time.
Yeah, I know.
Not the same dinosaurs.
I know.
That would bite your head off.
Yeah, but obviously I'd be reincarnated as a dinosaur myself.
Okay, right. Which one?
I think about this too.
Yeah.
I reckon.
We're just so on.
I reckon I'm probably more of like a velociraptor.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and really like back in those ages, velociraptors were the like size of like a large chicken.
Yeah, I wouldn't be a raptor.
What would you be?
I think I'd be a brontosaurus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Slow move. They're herbivore, right?
Yeah. Because I'm a daft peacock, so I don't like hurting anyone.
Yeah. What does that say about me?
No. But that's fine. Yeah, I think I'd be a brontosaurus or one of the flying, like a pterodactyl.
I could see you as a flying.
Just
dinosaur.
Overseeing everything and just checking out what's going on, chilling out on the cliffsides, watching everybody. Yeah, probably a pterodactyl.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I don't look anything like a pterodactyl.
And you're safe up in the sky as well.
Yeah, you are
safer.
much
Except from other bigger.
Well, and meteorites. Yeah.
I do love how you're a little bit dark.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you've got a dark sense of humour.
I do,
like it.
and people don't expect it. They think.
Question number 2.
This sweet little innocent thing.
No, it's great.
All right, are you a scruncher or a folder with toilet paper?
Well, this is something we can probably move through quite quickly.
Put it down the gutter.
But I can do both. It depends on how much time I have.
Love that.
Because you know, it's like if you want to be like a little delicate, like I'm just gonna fold that up and yeah. But let's face it, as hairdressers, we often don't have a lot of time. So it's a luxury for me to fold my toilet paper. I'll just leave it at that.
You'd be mainly a scruncher. Yeah. In Beijing, have you ever been to Beijing?
No.
Okay. Any Asian sort of countries?
Yeah, but not. I know I haven't done mainland. I've been to Hong Kong, but I mean like no, I've only done like the Middle East.
Yeah.
With the bidets.
Okay. All right. Well, in Beijing, they have like the squat toilets, so you have to actually squat right down to do your business. But what I found really interesting was the fact that they had little baskets, like a little bin, next to it.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I've been to hotels that ask this as well.
They don't. flush.
What in the...
They don't flush the toilet.
You need to bleep out my swear words, but I don't get it.
They don't flush the toilet paper. So I noticed a lot of folders in the bag.
No word.
And I was just very shocked by that, because I thought, being in a hurry all the time, you don't want to spend much time in these public toilets where you are squatting.
Do you reckon it's a part of
That
like
it would be essential. Yeah.
the economy, right? So to give people
Yeah.
jobs, like, because I think about that, I'm like,
Possibly.
because there's like this like
Yeah.
there's in these like third world and like kind of like
Less well off countries.
yeah communities. There
Yeah.
has to be jobs for everyone, and like like what would the other point be? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you have something to say? We have
Paris.
My marketing manager is in the room.
Just a producer's note.
Yeah.
It's because the plumbing infrastructure
That's what I thought.
isn't up to the same quality as it is here, because it's an older system, and so it would impact their plumbing or their waterways and have a really bad ecological impact if people flushed.
Okay, so it's because it goes back into the rivers that connects to there.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Here's me thinking that there's like a small person running in and like just cleaning up.
Well, they do. They actually do have quite a lot of, like a lot more workers than what we have here.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's because of the.
Oh, it terrifies me.
Plumbing.
I'm like, what in the? Why on earth would I put this in that basket? I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I won't. I'm a rule breaker. Sorry, guys.
That's okay. I like that.
I'm not going to put my defecated toilet paper in a bin and comfortably just walk out of the room like that.
I know. It's pretty bizarre.
And there's usually an attendant in the bathroom.
Yes.
You're like, oh, no worries,
Oh,
just go get.
That happened to me actually in the business lounge in the airport. There was an attendant, and they know when you've done more than a week, because
Hell.
they'll come in straight after you and scrub the toilet.
Hell.
I'm
It's
just
like,
like,
you're just throwing
that's embarrassing.
apologies as you walk out.
Yeah, I know,
So
I'm like,
sorry, so sorry.
So sorry. I had something bad to eat.
Anyway, let's move on to the next question, I think.
I love that. Okay. If I opened your fridge, what would I find?
Okay, so this one also made me chuckle because I am not diagnosed OCD, but I do have OCD tendencies, and I like things a certain way, particularly inside my fridge.
Yeah, same.
So I thought you might actually.
Yeah, but I have children and a husband that leaves cupboards open and puts things wherever he likes. So
Okay. Well, I have 2 dogs who
I
can't
have to
reach the
chill out.
fridge. Lucky for me.
yeah.
And I have everything lined up
Oh my god,
and
Dre.
just like stacked. So even from like,
Can I have a photo of that?
I'll have to refresh. I'll do
Okay.
a good one for you. But
Okay.
I have I would have like yogurts,
Yep.
protein shakes, Coca-Cola mini cans.
Okay.
I would also have all my coconut waters lined up.
Oh.
I have milk. I might have some like healthy kind of like meal options.
Okay.
I don't actually have a large opportunity to cook at home. So when I do cook, it's usually for friends or like it's like a self-nourishing like activity
Yep.
that I'm doing. But so I keep fresh fruit and healthy snacks, but I don't keep a lot of like fresh produce in my fridge because it usually goes to waste, and I'm really conscious of waste.
Yep.
So yeah, you would find like what else could I? Maybe like a couple of bottles of champagne if I have people over.
Yep.
I don't drink champagne, but I don't drink a lot in general actually. But
Yeah, same.
if someone comes over, it's nice to offer them.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't really have a lot of people over. My home is very private, so I kind of like keep it as a sanctuary.
Yeah.
I'm conscious of who I let in energetically.
Yeah. love
But
that.
yeah, like I just would have. I'm also a good host, so I would have options if people
Yeah.
happen to come over.
Yeah. Do you ask them beforehand what do you drink, or do you
No,
just assume and
I've
just
got
go out and buy
yeah,
everything?
no, I've got spirits, and I'll keep like some red wine, some white wine, maybe rosé during summer.
Yeah, nice.
I'm just prepared.
Yeah.
I don't drink it,
Love that.
but
next time I'm in Sydney.
Come over for a
Invite me over.
alcoholic or non-alcoholic spritz.
I love
I have
that.
both.
Good. Probably be non-alcoholic. I don't know. I don't really drink that much anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still drink, but it's less of an appeal to me
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Energy's more important. Energy, clarity, like sustagen is more important.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Meditation for me is my alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice one.
Yeah. Where do you get your fashion inspiration from?
It's tricky because I haven't, like, I feel like I have an eclectic sense of style. But I mainly look at my direct circle.
Okay.
So, like, as an example, two of my best friends are Renee Marshall, Marie Unali.
Oh, yeah.
Renee has a Lou at the Salon.
Yep.
Maria has Salon Kin and Studio Mimu. And they have we have a very eclectic style, but they have such amazing kind of like sense of like colors and textures to wear with each other.
Yeah.
So I'm inspired by how they layer colors and textures. And
I love that.
and I kind of just get like, oh yeah, that works, or and then I look across like a little bit of social. I mean, like, social is very generic and boring, but you know, like, I'll kind of be like, oh, that bag would work with something that I already have, or you know, and then I go through seasons of like uniform dressing. So like at the moment it's winter in Australia. We're getting to the end of it, but I have like maybe like 5, 6 like oversized hoodies that I have on rotation, and like these oversized denim kind of like cropped jackets, and then like I've kind of retailed a lot of my baggy kind of jeans to slim them out a little bit, and like it's my uniform. So I might be wearing something different every day, but it looks like it's the same thing.
The same thing.
Yeah. Different colors, different, you know.
I love that.
One might have a pattern, one might be bright color, one might be neutrals. You might have like chocolate and kind of layered in with different denims, and then you know, cargo pants, and I only stick to a couple of brands that I love.
Yeah, well, I was expecting you to say that your inspiration comes from brands. You know, more likely high-end brands, because they're very curated and they spend hours hand sewing something or creating something. Which is, you know, what we do here at Foil Me, like hand drawn. So I thought you would say that, and I love that your inspiration comes from your circle.
And you know, like,
that's
I
really
think
cool.
Thank you. I think that I am in a stage of my life where fast fashion doesn't have to be my first option, and I tend to buy for longevity rather than seasonally now. I mean, like, there are some local brands, like say Benroy as an example, where if I'm going on a holiday, I'll just take a few fun little pieces from them, and they last. They're a great brand, and they always do something fun because they have like very much like a vacation aesthetic. But predominantly I buy things to last years and years and years now, and so that's one thing I would say. I don't really do the whole fast fashion thing from a sustainability viewpoint, and except
they're all copies as well, aren't they?
It's true, it all kind of filters down, except I do actually buy my socks and my bed shirts from Kmart, because they're the best.
I mean, staples.
They're actually the
like
best.
Pajamas and socks and things
my
like
bed
that.
shirts and my socks are from Kmart,
you know.
and only because they actually are the best.
Have you tried bamboo clothing?
I have.
Yes. So I'm obsessed now with these socks here. They're bamboo, and they're just short. And they just say bamboo.
Soft?
And they're super, super soft. And you can get white ones and black ones. And that's all I wear now. I used to wear all these pattern socks and whatnot. But I'm obsessed with them. And then bamboo tops for sleeping in as well. And then I go and do my workout in them as well.
Nice. We find what we love and then we stick to it. That's how I am. But I've never really struggled as an adult to kind of like understand my sense of style. Like,
you seem very confident.
I kind of.
What you wear.
I know.
Love it.
And
like,
it's not.
Show us your jumper today.
Oh, it's just like a little mohair that I got years ago from Acne Studios.
I actually love it.
And it's just like, I love the pops of colour versus the neutrals and the pattern.
Yeah.
And the shape. The arms are a little bit too long, which I love.
Yeah.
And
you just
the
feel
neck.
safe, don't you? With the
the neck is high but not tight, which I love as well.
Yeah.
So
very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Michael got dressed up for me today. He put his dressing gown on for me.
Which I love. I love your dressing gown.
It's the best dressing gown. I actually, when you said I've got the best dressing gown, I thought.
What did you think?
I thought you'd bring in something silk or satin or like really.
Slip a little sucker like slithering around the house.
They're not very good, those dressing gowns,
No,
are they?
and
They're
also
just a
like
show.
yeah, and you know like
They
if you
don't
happen
really work well.
imagine if you have like a little cup of tea and you happen to spill something
I
and you get
know.
this stain
I know.
that stays there and like anyway, and then dry cleaning and washing them, it's just not a vibe. So
Yeah.
this is the best. It's just
It
machine washable.
Yeah.
I love it. Look at this.
Yeah.
There's just like a
So
little
many
sesame
stories.
seed like sitting in there.
I love it.
It even
So many stories in the dressing gown.
saves you food for later on.
It's the first thing I do when I get home. I put my dressing gown on because I know I'm going to be in the kitchen, getting food, doing all those things, you know, pets, whatever. And you know that you're going to spill something, or you know that you just want to wipe flour on your on your clothes. So it just covers you.
So they're very practical for you as well.
Oh, so practical.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it keeps them warm.
I have like a linen apron when I get into the kitchen if I'm cooking.
Ah, okay.
You should see me. I look like
like
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, I love
It's
that.
hilarious.
What are your must-haves when traveling?
Okay. I recently was introduced to Kindles.
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 What is that?
Kindles are a small kind of like piece of tech. It's a device.
Yeah.
That you upload
the reading.
books. Yeah.
Oh.
So it goes through Amazon and the Kindle store, and they're super lightweight. They have a backlight behind them if you want, but you don't have to have a backlight.
Okay.
And the battery lifespan is really long because it's not like an iPad where iPads are like, you know, high tech.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like it's just for books. So it has a store. You can download books from the store. But it changed the way that I travel.
Wow.
It also changed how I read because reading for me is a huge luxury.
Yeah.
I don't get a lot of time in my day to read. And when I come home from a very busy like day, I actually switch off by watching a program or, you know, like I'll do something that's kind of a little bit more TV focused.
Yep.
So for when I travel and get into like a different pace of like life, reading for me is crucial.
Yeah.
I love reading when I travel.
Yeah.
So it makes it possible.
So zen.
Yeah, possible to travel with multiple books when you've got a Kindle.
Oh my god.
Because remember the days when like you just
I brought 3 books with me to
Beijing. It's crazy.
I was
crazy.
Carrying 3 books around.
Yeah, and then you probably got a notepad as well that you're like journaling in.
Yeah, it was really heavy.
Yeah.
I did my shoulder in.
Kindle. And they're
Kindle,
like
there you go.
$90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
This is not a sponsored post.
No, that's my travel necessity now.
Yeah.
But I also travel with 2 forms of headphones. So one is like an in-ear, and then one is like a noise cancelling, like Bose kind of thing.
Yeah.
For the plane, and then also for when I'm like out running or, you know, like just, you know, doing anything to switch off with my music.
Yeah.
I have some like little like toiletry basics, you know, like lip gloss, face balm, like, you know, simple things.
Yeah.
But then I don't carry too much else. I definitely don't travel with snacks.
Yeah.
I don't understand those people that like load up with snacks unless they have like dietary requirements.
Yeah.
But I usually can grab a Kit Kat from the news agency or the small station of like where you buy from, and then I'll just endure the flight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's all you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a
No, I don't do snacks.
good flyer, and I don't. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I don't bring snacks.
I love flying.
Yeah. I don't like flying much at all.
Okay,
No.
I love it.
It's not that I'm scared, it's the sickness.
The motion.
Yeah.
Right.
I got rid of my lunch and my breakfast on the Singapore to Beijing flight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that like, do you go okay on boats?
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm really annoying. I'm a bit of a princess when it comes to traveling.
How do you travel? You're just like, I'm upright with my eyes
I know,
closed.
I'm just
No one speak to
like-
me. I'm just getting through this.
I know, like, please invent, what's it called?
Travel calm.
No, travel calm drives me out. Have you used that before?
No, I don't need to.
Yeah, well, you're lucky. My husband and my eldest are like that, but my son, who's 12, and
Yeah.
myself,
Yeah. No. Oh no.
every flight. Yeah.
Not
so
good.
It's nice. So if you ever wonder why I don't come to Sydney that much,
It's because you're a nauseous
it's
flyer.
because I don't like flying. Do you have any life hacks or tips? Yeah.
So this is and like I speak about it with people who I care about,
Mhm.
in particularly my team, because I think there is a line as an employer that you can't always cross when you're discussing like health and wellness,
Yes.
particularly mental health,
Mhm.
without being inappropriate. So
Yeah.
when I speak to my team about maybe guiding them through some challenges they may be having in their personal lives, I speak about my personal experience and what has worked for me.
Yeah.
And one thing I speak about a lot is the power of exercise or a state change. And what I mean by state change is that if you suffer from anxiety, you can quickly trick your body into going into survival mode by changing your state. As an example, like cold plunging, or like swimming in the ocean early mornings,
Yep.
having cold shower, anything like that, will change your body's like fight, flight, freeze,
Yeah.
and you will go into like a survival mode.
Yeah.
So it literally changes the neural pathways into you've got something else that you need to think about.
Yeah.
And I heard about it on a podcast with Oprah and Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize Lady Gaga is a huge campaigner for mental health awareness and actual strategy around how to get through like small challenges or big challenges in life. And she spoke about state change because she spoke how it helped her anxiety and then in turn her depression. Because once you relieve one, it kind of helps you focus on the other.
Yeah.
And I thought that just makes so much sense. So even like when I exercise high intensity because I'm like, I need to know that I'm like able to change my state.
Yeah.
So if I'm feeling flat, I'll go exercise. If I'm feeling anxious, I'll have a cold shower. If I'm feeling like I need to kind of like re-energize my body, I'll go do like hot and cold plunging, or like sauna, then plunge, sauna, plunge.
Yeah.
Because it kind of like resets my rhythm, and in turn creates more energy for me. So life hack would be that there is a method to the madness of exercise, and Wim Hof, and I think that you can get a lot more out of these techniques than what you realize.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably more kind of like a sentiment that I'd give to the younger community, is that you can actually move through your anxiety or depression or like whatever it is that's kind of like a cloud over your head through really practical techniques like giving up caffeine, as you have done and I have done, and reducing alcohol consumption, which I think is also very popular in the younger gen, and exercise and hot and cold therapy, and there's so many things that you can do to kind of help. And I speak about it amongst my team, and I hope that they hear these things and think that there's more options for them than being paralyzed in a hopeless situation or like resorting to
Western medicine.
Exactly, or but yeah, so that's kind of my life hack, is get in a cold shower if you ever feel a bit flat.
And that's what has worked for you, so that's brilliant.
And I hate it. The cold shower makes me feel like I'm being attacked by demons and ghosts. I mean, your water must run very cold here.
It's very cold. It is, yeah. The Wim Hof is interesting you say that, because my husband does that with our 12-year-old every night and does the
Yeah.
Wim Hof breathing.
Okay.
And I've done it before as well. I can
Yeah.
actually hold my breath for 2 minutes.
Wow, that's a fun fact.
Crazy. Yeah, I know. But Wim Hof is brilliant
Yeah.
for helping him with his anxiety, because he does stuff. He's 12 and he's already showing
Feeling that.
those kinds of signs.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just try and help him with the things that we know. Yeah.
And it's science backed. You know, there's so much to it.
Yes.
It's not just a crazy person sitting in the cold water. Like it makes scientific sense.
Yeah.
And I'm all about data.
Yeah.
Love facts.
Yeah.
And I speak about it a lot, especially like with my own thought management.
Yeah.
So if anything comes up for me, if I jump too far ahead, I'm like, no, Michael, go back to facts. What are the facts here?
Yeah.
You know, like you're jumping to conclusions. This person didn't say that. Like, what are the focus on the facts, and facts only.
100%.
And then it really helps me stay focused. Actually,
yeah.
Stay focused on the outcome that I want. It's we can get a little bit too ahead of ourselves. I'm like, no, come back.
Yeah.
No stories, just facts.
Yeah. It's easy to read into things that aren't there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your mind
It's what we want to do.
It wants to get carried away.
As we fall asleep, we're like,
yeah.
So there might be a few life hacks in there, maybe.
Oh, so many.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Michael.
That's okay.
I feel like we should end it there, but one more question.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you could do a collaboration with any brand in the world, who would it be and why?
Well, I feel naturally I need to say Foil Me. Because I've been manifesting it for many, 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 many years. 10 to be exact.
10? Wow. Since we started.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, no, but if I was to collaborate with a brand.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really tricky, to be fair.
Yeah. So many good ones out there.
Only because there is so many great brands, but there's also so many industries.
Yes.
So if I was to collaborate with a hair brand, like right now, it would obviously be Foil Me. But if it was like a fashion brand, like if it was like if I did a custom color palette for like a paint company, like there's so many options.
Yeah. There are.
Because I'm very like entrepreneurial in my like sense of like creation, so I can't actually answer it specifically.
That's fun.
Yeah. It would just have to be, there would have to be an alignment. What I will say is that I can see bullshit when it's in front of me, and I can understand when people are trying to work with me for the sake of it. So I really appreciate integrity, and I will only really work with brands and put my like name to a brand in a collaboration sense that I really feel like shares similar values to me and my business.
And are invested in you. You're not just a number.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that doesn't say that I will say no to small opportunities along the way. Yeah. But there's not a lot of heart behind those.
Yeah.
But if I'm putting my heart into a project, it needs to be with a brand that the alignment is strong. And I think that is really like where even our industry can remember to be reminded of that, is that like there's a lot more comes from that authentic like partnership of like we see each other, but
don't just think short term when you're offered a collaboration with a brand. Don't just think, oh, this is great, I'm going to get paid for this and I'm going to have this quick famosity. Think long term. Think about what is the effect, or how are people going to interpret my collaboration with this brand, and how is that going to affect my relationships later on. It's not just a quick fix kind of.
And I think people look at and I've made mistakes myself in partnerships along the way, but people look at brands and think about themselves and what they can get as an individual or their individual brand. But really, like, now I look at well, what is the lifespan of the partnership? You know, like the collaboration is the baby.
The longevity.
You know, like what does that look like from its own entity? And, you know, like, does it have legs to go 3, 5 years more? And I think that's where you put your energy into those, what you can see as something that which can grow and build. And it makes a lot of sense. So I really, across all relationships in my life, just look for harmony. And if I'm doing a collaboration with a brand, it has to work harmoniously. Otherwise, it feels like friction. We're both going different directions. It's like touching sandpaper versus touching, I don't know, like plastic, where it's just like nice and soft and
smooth side.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I want to thank you very, very much for coming today, especially for bringing your dressing gown, because I know you don't travel with a lot. So this is, you know, it takes up room.
It's usually just me and my Kindle, but now it's me and my Kindle and my dressing gown. That's not true. I'm a terrible traveller because, like, even to come for these 4 days, I packed 30 kilos of clothes. Like, I need to
That's shoes as well, though.
Yeah, it's like 4 pairs of shoes, like multiple blazers.
Yeah, that's me.
Like, I need to be prepared.
That's fine.
For whatever situation comes my way. I had education, I had an important collaboration meeting this morning. First, before I came and saw you. And then now I'm here with you. I've had dinner with like special clients of mine from Adelaide. And we've been filming content the whole time. So I needed to have 30 kilos of luggage.
Which is fine. Like, you know, you do you. As long as you feel comfortable where you are, I think that's the main thing.
Right. Or like strong enough to carry a 30 kilo case.
And that.
But thanks, Sam.
No, thank you. Thank you, Michael, for, you know, spending the time with us today. And I hope, guys, that you got a lot out of this interview.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
I think we'll probably turn it into a podcast. It'll be like a special edition.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And congrats on the podcast.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
It's really exciting.
It's coming along. Yeah.
It's very exciting.
But everything starts off small. So
most good things do.
They do. Yeah. Absolutely. All right.
Thanks, Sam.
Can I get a hug?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, you're the best.
Thank you. This is so soft.
It is soft, isn't it?
It is.
It's nice. If you're listening on the podcast, you can watch this interview either on snippets of it on my Instagram, which is The Dressing Gown CEO, or you can watch it on Rumble or YouTube. Thanks a lot. Bye.